Eternal night stalks the cobbled streets of Duskfall, the dark jewel of the immortal emperor's crown. Entrenched in a web of protective lightning, crisscrossed by canals and born of the amalgamated ingenuity of sheer desperate survival. The city's denizens languish in the dim and distant light of a shattered star. What secrets lie hidden in the gloaming courts and crepuscule grottos? What can anyone do when even spirits can't escape the endless night and every street, house, and hall in the city is haunted? Whatever you can get away with, my friends. Welcome to Haunted Halls.
We're back.
We're back. We're back. And I know I said this 2 episodes ago, but we left off in a desperate situation.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, that happened. That for sure happened.
Are we sure?
Let's re-roll it again.
Yeah.
Sitting to my left, as always, I have Christy, who is in the Guinness Book of World Records for having peeled the single highest number of grapes in one sitting for a performance art piece titled Beware of the Eyes of March.
Very different from Beware of the Ides of March.
Very, very different. It's my new game to try and see if I can get y'all to laugh at the copy here. I'm going to start with a weird question since we're doing a weird podcast. What is your favorite tarot card?
Well, let me preface by saying I have been doing tarot cards since I was a child
Okay,
because my mom is really into them.
cool.
But I guess my favorite, let me also say, I have no clue what most of them are, but
Sure.
I do see a lot of stickers and such with the reader. And I love that. It's probably not real,
It's not a real one,
It's
yeah.
not a real one, yeah.
but I love that one.
But it is cool.
Yeah, I love the image.
Yeah.
And I think in a perfect world, I could have that image on so many different things. And it's usually a skeleton
Yep.
holding a book.
Right.
Mwah, perfection.
And then you would get to your card reading and it would just be like, your past. Oh, it's the reader. Your present. Holy shit, it's another reader.
Amazing.
How is that possible? There's only 0 in the deck. Oh, your future, also a reader.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes it's different because it's upside down.
Yeah, it's true.
Right,
The
right.
inverted.
Amazing.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That was a good answer. The reader. I saw one at Gen Con last year that was called The Collector. And I got it because of my collection of books for RPGs.
Oh my God, I did the same thing.
Oh my God.
Really?
We did, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was the collector for the pins.
Oh, we did collect the pins. That's true. Yeah. Oh, man. Super exciting news. I ordered 4 Evil Hat enamel pins. Evil Hat Productions that publishes Blades in the Dark. So they should be here sometime in the next week and we can put them on our new hats.
Amazing.
Ooh. It was very cool. Actually, shout out to the staff at Evil Hat Publications. I ordered 2 and then I was just going to give one for me and Jerry for Gen Con. And then Bonnie's like, I want one too. And I'm sure Christy does. So I ordered a second set and I just paid the shipping twice. And the guy emailed me immediately and was like, hey, did you mean to do this? And if not, how about I refund one of these shipping costs? And I was like, thank you, my dude. Yeah, like instantly.
Wow.
Shout
Very
out
cool.
to them.
Great people over
Impressive.
there. Yeah.
Seriously.
Go buy their books, all of them, the entire series. All right across the table and to Christy's left, I have Bonnie, whose latest project includes cultivating an online following under the musical alter ego Tanaya Schwain with her breakaway hit, Dude, I Feel Like a Lady. Bonnie, what's your favorite tarot card?
Oh, man. Well, I would have to say my favorite tarot card is the Prince of Swords. I feel like I've always kind of resonated with that one personally. It deals a lot with like being quick-witted, intellectual, creative, but also can be like represent like emotional detachment, which I know I can do sometimes. And so anyway, I've always kind of been like, that's me. And so that's why that one's my favorite.
You went outside of the major arcana.
I did, yeah.
Which is pretty impressive. That's a good answer.
Thank you.
I like that. All right, last but not least, to Bonnie's left, we have Jerry, who once landed a recurring role on Sesame Street the later years as recovering whippet addict Huff Aluphagus. I don't know if I'm going to make it, Big Burn.
This is particularly awesome because you made that Elmo reference.
He keeps doing it. That's why that's why I put it in there. Oh, man. What was it like to play?
He got himself. He got himself, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's your favorite tarot card, Jerry?
You know what? As a God-fearing man, I do not do anything with tarot cards.
Nice.
But if I had to pick one, it would be the Fool.
Yeah, the Fool's a good one. I like the Fool. It's actually, that would be one of my
the Fool.
favorite picks. Yeah.
And then play in the reverse, and you have a wise individual.
Enlightenment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Learning from your mistakes. Yeah. To quote the little book on tarot cards that I read an hour ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Bobby, what's your favorite?
Oh man.
Yeah.
I've got like 3 answers for this.
Where's
one
your copy?
Yeah. I've got, oh my gosh, like 3 or 4 tarot decks over there. I like tarot decks because I like the art a lot.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Yes.
They really are. Yeah.
So my first answer, my like teenage Bobby answer, is the Hermit, because it's always painted to look like kind of like Gandalf, like a wizard, you know. But then I got older and realized there's an actual magician card, which does like that is the creation, like divine spark of like inspiration and stuff like that. I love that card. But T.S. Eliot, man, the Hangman, Fear of Death by Water, etc. You know what I'm talking about? The Wasteland. Yeah, so that's probably my favorite. If I was ever going to get a tarot card tattoo, I would get the inverted Hangman right on my forearm. 'Cause I just love that. I think it's really cool.
Nice.
That's a good
Yeah.
answer.
Good answer.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah. I had the benefit of being able to think about it beforehand.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm just sitting here like, I don't know. I'm picking a fake one, I guess.
I mean,
You picked a good fake one though.
listen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, aren't they all fake ones?
Listen.
Hey, those might be fighting words for some people.
Some people, that's true, but some of them were just made up longer ago.
Yeah. They were intended for the whole group.
Yeah, maybe.
Mine was not.
Yeah. From now on, we have like the minor arcana, the major arcana, and the neo arcana.
Oh.
And it's all the new weird shit. The collector, the reader gets to be put in here.
Wow.
Yes.
The prostitute, the.
Yes.
Why did you look at me when you said that?
Because you're playing a prostitute.
Yeah, but
Former prostitute, right? Or
I mean,
Well,
Things get
wait.
tough.
Let's wait until things get desperate. Yeah. Then we'll see.
might be the only way out of this is me hooking.
When last we left our scoundrel protagonist, you had begun the score of a lifetime for your bar anyway. You were on a mission to raid a monastery deep beneath a church of ecstasy. People would call it a cult of ecstasy if they didn't appreciate the state-sponsored religion. Run by House Kellis. And everything was looking pretty good. Does everybody remember what load you picked?
Stealth.
So 3?
yeah.
So everybody was running light load, trying to sneak down here. We picked stealth as our entry point, and then I rolled 2 dice for you. And wonder of wonders, Christmas came early, and I got a 3 for a desperate situation, which means the last thing that we left off on was the ringing of an alarm, and a shout from below, somewhere not so deep below, somewhere where you're going to have to deal with it pretty quickly, I think. Calls of, grab your rifles, someone's coming. So you know that there's armed men, they are now aware, and you are in a desperate situation. Everywhere you look in this place, it's just utterly dark. It's already a dark world, a dark setting, but this place is underground. You're maybe 3-4 floors down. You're in a point where retreating would be a wild proposition because you'd have to run 3 floors up in the dark with men pursuing you right on your heels. Everywhere you look, the walls are coated in like this, what looks like maybe a dark, almost browny yellow resin. Places where people have accidentally scuffed it with their elbows and scraped it off as though a decade's worth of incense is burned down here. You can smell the residue of it. You know that smell if you've burned too many of those cone incense? And then you haven't cleaned out your incense holder in a while, and that black residue, it's coating the walls, it's coating the floors. And perhaps the weirdest thing that you see are these bizarre vines growing from floor to ceiling, seeping through the cracks of the wooden floors, going down into the depths where you know that you also have to go. It's almost like a maze. You're thrown off guard by the alarm. You're confused by the shouts from below. We're starting in a desperate situation. You can hear somebody coming moments away from someone bursting through a door and leveling a rifle at your face. Who wants to go first?
I can go.
Okay.
Because it's so dark down here, I would like to use my dark sight goggles.
Okay.
So looking around, what is in front of me? Is it just a door, or are there any halls I could go down? Or
Yeah, it seems like you are, we'll say you just came down kind of a spiral staircase that went down. There were landings coming down. You hit the bottom So you're at the very bottom, and in front of you is a door. You can see footprints in the ground.
I feel like I'm going to turn to you guys and be like, can you guys see at all? I've got these goggles. Do y'all have something like this?
No, I can't see a damn thing in here.
Shit.
I can't see shit.
All right, guys, grab onto me. We're going through this door. We've got to haul ass.
Okay.
All right, I'm grabbing onto Lady, and Lady's grabbing onto you.
All right, so yeah, I'm going to fling that door open, and we are going to take off down the hall.
The three of you careen into the door, through the door into the room, and those vines get tenfold worse. Everywhere you look on the wall, the one bonus good thing is a strange sickly light kind of floods through as soon as the door opens, and you see these blossoms that look kind of like lilies, but they're pale and they're putting off like a pale green light everywhere along the walls. It's almost, there's some places where it's so thick you can't see the walls through the vegetation. On the other end, you see what appears to be some sort of statue. It looks like maybe a stone statue. There's metal pieces and parts. It has what looks like a chest cavity open, and you can see the very clear, absolutely unmistakable telltale signs, I guess, of Leviathan blood. So ectoplasm. The statue seems to be pouring ectoplasm into a cache of soil at the bottom, and then that soil is then feeding these plants that are kind of then going out of the soil into the walls. There's 4 monks. They are disheveled. Their clothing is ripped, soiled. In some cases, it looks like they have not even been allowed to get up and go to the bathroom. Like the stench from this room hits you when that door opens like a punch to the face. And then right behind those 4 monks are 3 men with rifles. One,
Does anyone have a gun?
I do.
Okay.
one levels it right at you and says, "Fire!" And I'm going to give y'all all 3 in action to try and navigate the situation before things get bad, but you are definitely in desperate situation.
You don't get to roll any more dice, Bobby.
I don't get to roll any dice at all.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
How big is this statue, and how much ectoplasm are we talking about?
The statue is roughly the size of 2 people. It's not necessarily that tall. It's just wide and thick. It looks like if you were to take like an Easter Island statue, like the head almost, and if you could just kind of shrink that down and then attach it to a body. It looks kind of like that. Like very angular, very just strange looking.
Okay. And how much ectoplasm, is it like flooding the room, or is it just kind of in a
Very controlled.
very controlled spot?
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems like it's coming from a chamber at the top of the statue and flowing down into what appears to be like a bed of soil at the bottom of it. And then those roots are just being nourished by this stuff.
Okay.
Now, you knew that something weird was going on with the roots down here, and they were making some kind of drink out of it, like distilling it in such a way that would allow you to drink a drink that sends you somewhere else or lets you see beyond the veil, beyond the lightning veil, into the land of the dead. So there was some kind of indication that there would be something weird going on.
Okay.
But that might be weirder than you thought.
And so the monks that are really disheveled, are they just laying on the floor?
They're kneeling 2 in prayer.
Okay.
And then the 2 in front are also kneeling, but not in prayer. They seem to be tending to the statue, to the monolith.
Okay.
Those things seem kind of top heavy. Like if you give it a really good push, maybe it'll topple over.
What, the statue or the monks?
The statue.
The statue, you'd have to probably try and find out, I think.
Jesus.
But you got dudes aiming guns at your head.
So,
And in any universe, that's a bad thing.
man, okay. This is so messed up. But I think what I'm going to do is, because there's really nowhere else to hide, is I'd like to kind of like leap into the room and grab a monk and try and use him as a meat shield.
Ooh.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to remind you really quickly, just because I left it out on accident earlier.
Oh, well.
I'm going to remind you that this is a turf that is possible for you to try and take over and use these monks to distill this thing for your own bar.
I just want to let this monk.
Okay, if that's the way we want to go.
Well,
just to remind you, though, like,
They're not going to want to be on our side if we use them as
That's
They're being abused
true.
right now. What's the difference?
I probably should have said that up front, but
Yeah.
like last time when we ended the podcast, it was like a possible turf takeover. Like you were
That's
thinking
true.
about seizing
That is
this from
true.
House
That is
Kellis.
true.
So to that end, I think I will remind you, although you are in a desperate situation and it might not be possible anymore to get that, to take that, you might just have to grab the bag and run, right? Get as much of the ale as you can and anything else in this room and get out of here. And the turf part of it fails, but maybe you make some coin. But
Well-
if you were going to try and seize the turf, you probably need to think about trying to figure out a way to ensure that House Kellis does not have any kind of reprisal coming back at you as well.
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
It's a lot. It's a tall order. But
So-
turf is a really good thing.
Okay, well, all right.
Christy, real quick. Christy, what were you going to say?
I have a palm pistol, so
Ooh.
I think my first order of action is going to be to whip out my pistol and point it at whoever looks to be the leader.
Okay.
I mean, I'm looking wildly, but
You're wildly
do any
looking.
of them look like they stand out a little bit more? Their
Oh, yeah.
uniform, like,
For
is
sure.
there one with a uniform that looks different or
Yeah,
something?
Absolutely. One of them, the two on the either side appear to have like just your kind of a standard, almost military looking uniform.
Mm-hmm.
The one in the middle is decorated a little bit. He's got a bit of pageantry at his shoulder, a little tiny bit on his chest.
Yeah.
So you can tell he's some kind of ranking official. The pageantry means absolutely nothing to 2/3 of you. Whenever Shroud sees it, she immediately recognizes the colors of House Kellis. So this is a man who's employed by your former enslavers, and apparently treating these monks like shit. So palm pistol,
Yeah.
just
and
gonna
I'm sent.
quick draw McGraw.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna see who's first.
Nice.
Okay, what action do you want to use for that?
Command.
So you can use any action you want to, but keep in mind that like some of them are better than others. For shooting a gun, probably the best ones are like hunt. Finesse is a really good one because it's like a hand dexterity thing.
Okay.
If you want to command one of them or try and command the monks to like attack the dudes, like now's your fucking chance. Like that would be a good command action.
Okay.
Think about things like
wait,
that.
Wait,
I like
wait,
that.
wait for me for that one. That was my idea.
That was your idea?
Yeah.
Did I steal it just
Oh,
now?
Yeah, you did.
Hell yeah.
I was gonna use Sway though.
Sway's good too.
Yeah.
Sway's great for that. It just depends on how. Hey monks, I bet you haven't seen a lady in a while.
Flash him a little nip.
Yeah.
There's more where they came from.
You're like,
Two.
this is a dark room, but I think you can see from the ectoplasm over there, the
Oh,
glow.
my goggles.
All right, Christy, what do you think? What does Amy do?
I guess finesse. At first I was thinking command or something, because I'm ordering. I would also yell like, I don't know, I got you too, or something like that.
Yeah.
But maybe finesse while also yelling something like, you've got a gun on you too, bitch.
Yeah. Ooh.
You put a little stank on the bitch. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, give me the roll. Let's see what happens. Wait, do you want to push yourself or anything?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna push myself.
Wait a minute, how much stress do you have?
5.
Oh God.
Ooh,
Oh God.
that's a lot of stress. That's okay though. Taking a little stress,
Yep.
not so
Is it?
bad.
Is it okay?
Would that be 1 stress?
It would be 2 to push yourself. It'd be 1 if somebody else helped you.
It's okay. I'm gonna push myself. Here we go.
You shoot this guy right in the face. There it is. There's that 6.
There it
A
is.
6.
Right.
And you're going for the lead guy.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, the one who looks like he stands out the most.
Yeah, the one that I named.
Yes,
Is what
because
it's
I
happening.
wanted to be clear to the other 2 that they should back down. Whoever they seem to value the most is my
I like it.
guess.
I like it. You pull the pistol. You fire. You smoke that guy. I mean, like a smoking hole right in his face.
Yeah.
He stumbles backwards and miraculously falls without hitting the monks, the statue, any of the roots. Because you rolled a 6. I'm not going to give you any consequences.
Yeah.
Yes.
Girl.
One of the guys looks over at him, and a wet spot blooms on his trousers. He has
Hell
watched his
yeah.
lieutenant. He says, "Lieutenant Barranquez, he's gone down. He's gone down the dark road."
Why is all your minions from the south?
Because the South generates minions, Sherry.
They're not all
Dang.
Southern.
They're not
Sometimes
all.
your folks are from New York or
Sometimes
something.
they're just a little gruff, and sometimes they have lady voices. No,
Yeah,
so
like
yeah,
Horace.
he's like, goddamn, Lieutenant Barranquez. You see he just dies, like a fountain of blood shoots out of that hole in his face.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and I'm yelling like, put your guns down now.
Yeah. I think they're panicky, and I think they're still going to try and shoot because we did start in a desperate situation. By the way, mark yourself experience for the finesse right there.
All right, my turn.
It is your turn if you want to go next.
I go ahead and hit the Charlie's Angel pose. And
The one that the one girl makes fun of in the newest like Avengers movies.
yeah.
Why do you sound like that? Okay.
And I'm trying to sway the monks. Like, now is your chance. Rise up. And I'm going to push myself.
God, you probably look amazing while you're just yelling this at them.
I'm going to lovely blonde hair.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my God, you're really high on stress.
I'm
You've
really-
only got 2 left.
I only got 2 left.
Me too.
Twins.
Okay.
Yes.
It's all on. It's going to be on you, Bonnie. Shroud's really going to have to carry this. Okay, that's not
Ooh,
bad.
that's good.
That's the consequence. I'm going to say that. So the 2 monks that are actively administering to the statue don't react to you at all. The other 2 turn around and kind of stagger to their feet very slowly, stand up, and you can see them look at each other and their eyes lock. And there's like a feralness to them. I don't want to say feral, capital F. We're not talking about feral ghosts here, but there's definitely like a desperation. And one of them surges forward and he hits the guy who's right in front of you in the back. He kind of just tackles him as best he can. The gun goes off in this really close area. I'm going to say all 3 of you take a level 1 harm,
Ooh.
Oh no.
which is going to be eardrums blasted out.
Ooh.
That's not bad. Hey, that's not bad at all. And the bullet tears into the wall behind you, right next to your head, Lady of the Docks. And it pierces one of those roots. One of those flowers, as a matter of fact, explodes, and you see these glowing petals floating to the ground in front of you, almost like a bird has been shot mid-wing and the feathers are scattered, right?
Aw.
And you breathe in, and there's a momentary feeling of like euphoria, like just that happy feeling. And then you're going to take a level 2 harm. I'm not going to make this one be a fully on, you got to heal it, but it's going to be called Spirit Blasted. You're hallucinating because you have inhaled this stuff. Keep in mind, you can resist.
Oh.
So, just to let you know, I've got a gut shot,
Yep.
level 1,
Yep,
bust the eardrums,
true.
level 1,
correct.
and now you want to give me a level 2 as well?
Yes. But you can resist it. Hey, use those last 2 stress.
Bobby. It's violence against women, and I
It's
will not
violence.
stand for it.
I didn't do it. The soldier did it.
All right.
But he's disarmed. He can't reload that flintlock rifle in 1 round. Listen, it wouldn't be so bad, but you guys really fucked up before we even started. It's a
We
desperate
didn't
situation.
roll.
What?
We didn't do it.
I didn't do it to you guys.
Okay.
You gals.
You were hoping and wishing over there for our downfall.
So listen, this is a hallucinogen. What happens right in this moment is the Lady of the Docks is having a really hard time telling the present from the relatively far past.
Oh no.
So what I need you to do is I need you to kind of think of something that really might fuck you right up in this moment. And then I'm going to get back to you after we go to Shroud.
All right.
Shroud, what would you like your action to be? Desperate. 1 more guy. There's only 1 guy left with a gun, but it is leveled at 1 of your hearts. I'll probably roll a luck roll to figure out which one. And it better not be Lady of the Docks, because if she takes a shot, she's fucking dead.
I think I'm going to draw a dagger and just throw it at his head.
I like that.
Yeah, at his neck,
Just straight violence.
right at the jugular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think of all the members of the party. Now, we already saw Emmy do straight violence, and very well. Very
well.
effective violence. But I expect violence from Shroud, I think.
Yeah.
Even though Emmy was military,
Yeah.
ex-military, I forget about that all the time. Give me that roll.
Okay.
You gonna push yourself? You beg your friends for help?
I will push myself for sure. I have no stress right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm fine. Yeah, I will push. It's fine. And that gives
Oh,
me
that's right. You
I'd
overindulged.
forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Yeah, you
I'm
did.
feeling great. I'm gonna use prowl.
Okay.
And
Tell me,
so-
explain how you use prowl, because that'll give me a barometer for what kind of a effect you're gonna have.
Sure. When I walk into, or when I burst into the room, I should say, I would like to do like a cool, almost like a little sneaky roll, like to the side of the room, like so that they
Maybe
can come
behind a
in.
pew.
Maybe behind a pew, or just something like that.
It's like
And-
rolling your body through the roots and flowers on the ground. Got it. Understood. We're on the same level of wavelength.
No, no.
No, I love it.
No,
It's
no,
desperate.
that's not.
You're
no.
desperate.
Wait.
Yeah. Excellent.
Not like that.
Not like that. No, no, no.
Like that.
So desperate for standard effect, I think is what we're going to go with. I should have done that for both of y'all. Sorry that I didn't. You got to hold me accountable. I need to be better about it. So desperate for standard effect.
2 3s.
Oh no, Bonnie. Oh no.
But you know what? Together they make a 6.
Together they do make a 6,
Yeah.
which in some games would matter, but not in this one.
Oh, God.
Damn.
Fine. I'm fine. We're fine. Everything's fine.
Do you want to resist that?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I was about to roll. There was going to be 1, 2, Christy, 3, 4, Jerry, 3, 4 right there. Jerry'd be dead.
Jesus.
Lady of the Docks shot in the face.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah. Go ahead. Let's see what happens. So tell me how you're going to resist it. What are you going to do?
So he shoots, right?
He's going to fire.
Right.
Your knife goes wild and hits the statue behind him. I'll tell you what happens when that happens.
Okay.
Depending upon what you say right now.
Okay. I'm behind a pew, right? So I'm just gonna duck back down under the pew, you know.
Okay. So just like kind of whip the knife out, wildly miss, duck
Yep.
back down behind the pew.
Yeah. Maybe scream shit and then duck
Oh,
again.
fuck! Oh, fuck!
Like drawing his attention over there so he doesn't shoot the
Looking
two
dead
of us.
at
Yeah.
He tracks down after you and pulls the trigger into the chair. I need you to give me that D6 roll. It's going to be 1d6 minus. Listen, we've been doing this wrong too. It's supposed to be the lowest of your sets of abilities. So either your insight, prowess, or resolve, whichever one you have the fewest dots in.
That would be prowess.
Okay, so you're going to go ahead and roll. How many dots do you have? How many
1.
different things? You just have 1, so you're going to roll 1.
Okay. I rolled a 5.
Hey, that's pretty good. You only take 1
Okay.
stress.
Oh, look at me.
I am going to say, though, you hit the deck. You draw his fire, so I don't murder any of you in one shot. But you do roll right through those hallucinogenic
Fantastic.
spores. Yeah.
Oh God.
You kind of get down there, you go, fuck. Fuck. You look back at your friends. We're in a bad spot.
Whoa, dude.
That's why you're only 1 stress from that.
Yeah.
Well, it's 3 now.
So you
Oh.
remove 3 of those. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, great. No, you said it. I'm gonna do it.
So that means that you also have entered this hallucinogenic state where you are going to have trouble telling the difference between present and past. So you also need to be thinking of a scene or some kind of way that you can. It's going to be way easier, I think, for Shroud because you've been in a situation where men in these uniforms have been
Right.
in a position of power over you,
Right.
in terrible conditions with electroplasm around. So
Right.
yeah, that happens. Okay. I'm going to say what happens next is you're all kind of the initial shock of the first 3 seconds of being in the room. Like you hear 2 guns go off immediately. Like you've got the hand pistol comes out, you shoot the dude right in the face. The other guy fires into the wall. It's 3 shots, actually 3. And then 1 fires into the pew where Shroud's head was 2 seconds ago. He misses you by mere inches. The monks are screaming. The 2 that kind of like helped momentarily push themselves, they stumble and push themselves against the wall. They are literally clawing at those vines on the wall, and you can see the spores just floofing out of these flowers, filling the space. The guy in the front starts yelling,
Yeah, he should be high too.
Yeah.
oh, he's probably built up. Oh, you know, the soldier?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're getting there.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about the monks right now.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The monk in the lead, the one who is doing the most ministration to the statue, does not break concentration. But in a straggly kind of like gravelly voice, he says, "You will not interrupt the services to the reconciler." And the monk next to him stands up, and it looks like he's going to enter the fray this round. You have the 2 guys. They are desperately trying to reload. So you've got a moment here of kind of more standard, not desperate actions, but standard actions to try and resolve the situation. The strangest thing, though, aside from the filthy monks, one of them screaming some shit about a reconciler, the 2 guys in uniform, one with piss still running down his legs, is that the statue begins to move.
You know what the actual
No.
fuck?
It extends its legs as a knife sails through the air past the head of the guy trying to shoot Shroud and clangs into it. A smaller hand, not the big hands that are holding the soil, but like a small, almost like robotic, it's like a weird blend of stone and metal, swings out smoothly as though it was tracking the movement, the geometry of the knife flying through the air, and swings down in an arc to cup the air as the knife gently falls into it.
What?
And you see a face illuminated on its giant stone pate in blue ectoplasm as it kind of like moves robotically up a little bit. What are y'all doing?
Okay, but it's attacking the 2
No
guys.
idea.
Shit.
Is this thing the reconciler? What the fuck is going on? What is it? The monk like worshiping the idol? Is it something that he's using to worship something else? Who knows? Some crazy shit you stumbled into. I really wish you guys had rolled better on that.
You know what?
Starting position roll.
Yeah. I bet you did.
You know what?
Ah, shit. All right, wait a minute. The guards, the soldiers,
Yeah.
are they wigging out too?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
they are wigging out.
Did they drop their guns?
They are desperately trying to reload them. One of them starts shouting about a Severosi charge. They're coming. They're on the horses. They're coming right at us. Or Akarosi. It might be Akarosi. Do you remember which
Severosi.
Are the Severosi the horse
for
lords?
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Severosi.
Start shouting about the Severosi, the horse lord. They're coming. They've lined up, and he's desperately jamming that ramrod down in the barrel of the gun. He's trying to get the charge reset so that he can fire again next round. The other one, the Mr. Piss Leg,
Mr. Piss.
Mr. Piss.
Stop it.
I'm gonna edit that out. I never leave the piss stuff in.
Leave it in. Editor, leave it in.
The man with urine rolling down his legs kind of stumbles back. He's also, though, desperately trying to reload that rifle. It seems like they might not be seeing exactly you anymore, but they do see a threat because their lieutenant is fucking dead in the middle of the room, right next to them.
Do I need to? I mean, it's a pistol, so I can just keep shooting, right?
No, because we are deep in like
Damn.
flintlock reloading. Now, if you want to have had 2 pistols, you can just whip out a pistol from the other pocket,
Tempting.
or you can
You
try
got
and
3
reload that
loads.
one. Yeah.
Does the gun count as 1 load, right? Or is it a 0 load?
Mine, it just says concealed palm pistol.
Does it say it in italics?
It does.
Oh, you can have
Oh,
as many of
that's
those as
right.
you want. Yeah.
That's
I think,
right.
I don't know if you only get 1 for free, but we'll say you got 2 palms, 2 pistols.
It
Oh, yeah.
says italics don't count for load.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm pulling out another one.
What a badass.
And
Awesome.
look at us figuring out our shit.
hell yeah.
And thank God for that. That's
Yes.
awesome.
And the 2 of you
Yeah.
are probably going like, where the fuck does she keep those
Yeah.
guns?
Yeah, you
I've
didn't
never
know.
seen that. Yeah. Bow, bow.
Yeah, nobody knows how much shit I've got hidden away.
No.
So I pull out another one and I'm pointing it at the one who urinated himself. I'm like, I think you guys need to stop.
Yeah.
And I'm commanding.
You're going to command him to stop.
Yeah.
Lay down your arms.
That's right.
Okay. I'm going to say that this is, like I said, risky earlier because we're back into kind of a more standard scenario.
Okay.
I'm going to say limited effect because he's high on drugs inadvertently, but he might not recognize that it's you who's talking to him.
You might have to give somebody another headshot.
So
Be
you
honest
could
with you.
you could either push yourself for to kind of give yourself extra effect, which would be 2 more. You might take
Oh,
a
no.
trauma here in this moment, which would take you out of the fight, but it would take one of them too. Or we could do a devil's bargain.
Or I could even just go ahead and shoot him.
You could just shoot him right in the face.
Could I help? And
Take a stress to help. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to help to increase the effect?
yeah.
How do you do it?
What I would like to do is maybe pop back up from behind the pew and be like, "Hey, piss pants over here."
Now,
Love it.
while that is funny,
Aw.
I'm commanding right now.
she is commanding.
Oh.
So she is going, you drop your weapons and
Right.
trying to get through the haze of drugs. And if you're like, hey, you over here, look at me, not her, ignore her, like that might
That's not, see how that's not helpful.
might
What's
not help the
problem?
situation a little bit.
What's
Yeah.
the problem?
I see no problem
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. So I could pop back over from behind me and be like, "Yeah, do what she says, loser."
Great effect.
Here's the other thing I'm going to put out because we're having a lot of fun right now.
Uh-oh.
Ugh.
But you are a slave girl who was enslaved by this house for a decade, at least, maybe? What's your
Yeah.
backstory there?
Yeah, a little over a decade, I'd say.
Are you inclined to help save this man's life?
No.
So
I mean,
would
he's
you
a-
help her, like, try and spare him and get him to put his gun down? Is what I'm at. I need honest questions about your character.
Well,
I'm questioning is it, it's funny,
yeah.
but is it something Shroud would do? Or are you the one who's going to be, like, blowing heads off here? I don't know.
Are you encouraging me to shoot him instead of trying to command him?
Well, yeah, I would prefer that you shoot him, but I think that I would inherently
Shroud is smart.
trust you not to fuck us over, and I'd be willing to roll with whatever you're wanting to do.
Okay. So, if
Okay.
I command, that means I cannot shoot after that.
Yeah, because I don't. You can. I'm just going to make it like extremely low effect.
Right.
Like you'd have to get double sixes for it to work on to command a gun to shoot.
All right. Well, that's-
So I'll take the assistance, but we'll go back to that. How are you doing? Are you shouting like, yeah, do what she says? Like, is that what you're going to do?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Here we go.
Okay.
We'll see if this works. Will the guy who pissed his pants, who's so scared, listen to me?
Will you get through the drug haze?
Hey, a
Success with a
4.
consequence.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Okay. I should have just shot him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this freaking god that's, turned into stone and walking around might kill him, so.
That's
And kill us, so.
yes.
We won't have aim problems.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
We might be starting over from scratch next episode.
Yeah.
It's very true. Very true. That thing is trundling to life. Let's see. Consequence for that. Yeah, that's a made-up word. I don't think it really works in this context,
okay.
but I'm going to stick with it. It's always hardest on consequences of like telling somebody to do something because what happens to you? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start a clock is what I'm going to do, and the clock is going to be called "They Resist." Okay, and I'm going to put 2 ticks on it because they're already stoned. But he puts his gun down. It's going to be a 4-tick clock. Yeah.
So I'm putting this under Emmy's character sheet in Roll20.
Okay.
We've got a 4-part clock. And this is to see if the loser...
The 2 guys with like if he's capitulating to you right now, but if the treatment is too harsh or if there's mishandling, success with consequences commanding him in the near future, he might turn on you. So this is the clock to determine whether or not that's going to happen.
Okay. Here we go. We have our clock.
All right.
Any of them checked off? None.
2 of them.
Damn.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I think you said it already. I'm just...
Kind of hoping he forgot.
Yeah. Didn't work. That's fine.
All right, I'm gonna put this out here. Should we just grab whatever and run? We got a stone golem. We got a psycho monk.
Yeah.
We got a guy who obviously urinated on himself, which is not fun. And then everyone's high in here. You and I are high.
Yeah.
You'll eventually be high.
Yeah.
With all the spores in the air.
Yep. Is there anything to grab here?
I mean, we can. There was a pool of liquid, right?
Yeah. A pool of the ectoplasm, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have vials.
We need to grab and run. That's my suggestion. See.
You're yelling it out at us.
What? Yeah, I'm yelling it out.
Is everything here that we wanted to get?
I mean, I think everything we wanted was here. I mean, there was barrels of this stuff, right? Or was that
No.
the score? No,
You're making it up. Yeah.
Okay.
No. The only thing you've seen in here, so you know that there was that root that they can use to refine some kind of special ale. It's like a Kinspire root. You know that's down here. Hell, you can see it. It's all over the walls. It seems like they're doing something with it. It's very potent. Ostensibly, you could smash and grab and just try and scoop as much of it off the walls and hope that that's the right part of the plant, and shove it into a bag and get the hell out of here. But you don't know how to refine it. You don't know how to brew it. So whatever you come up with, maybe hopefully one of you is decent at tinker, you can create something that's workable.
We could steal one of the monks.
You could steal a whole monk, a whole ass monk, and hope that they're okay working without their compatriots or not in a situation where they are doing whatever it is they're doing with the reconciler. You also have nothing, you have no idea what's going on with that statue. So what if,
I don't want to know anything about that statue.
because I'll tell you what you don't see anywhere in this room is a distillery at all. Like nothing that looks like it is being used to brew anything.
And there are no other doors in this room, right?
There are doors back behind the statue.
Oh.
On the other side. Think of the statue. Think of it as like almost like an old, like a church type of room. I didn't describe it. I focused way too much probably on the foliage and like the people in it. But there's a roughly, I don't know, 12.5 pews, old stone pews, somehow deep beneath the ground. You're not even sure how they got here. Maybe they were carved in this room in eons past. I mean, you're in what is essentially an ancient part of Duskfall. Very possible that they were carved down here, out of the rock that this room was carved out of. The plant matter is growing down the walls. It's all over the floors. There's even some creeping across the ceiling. You have the statue at the far end of the room, right where an altar would be, maybe where a priest would stand and give a sermon. And then behind that, you have two small rooms, two small doors that open to you don't know what from where you're standing. There were the guards that were standing with rifles watching over the monks. You've got the 4 monks who are tending to the garden. 2 of them elderly, older, on the older side. I'm not going to say super elderly, but older. And then 2 maybe in their mid. 2 extremely young and healthy, hardy people in their 40s, because 40s is, healthy, a respectable young age, extremely virile still, just really doing great. Yeah. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that you just said?
Yeah, I mean, just sneezing won't throw out your back at all in your 40s.
No.
Yeah, you get the impression that these 40-year-old monks can do things like roll over at night and not hurt their back.
Whoa.
Yeah, they can.
Crazy.
Wise.
Yeah,
This is obviously a fictional story.
they can pick up a moderate load and turn with it in their hands. What? Without going to see a chiropractor. So just the picture of health, really.
Wow.
Youth and exuberance.
Good point.
So 2 of them, one of them, they've kind of, those are the 2 that stumbled and obeyed the swaying siren call of the Lady of the Docks to help their plight. And then, of course, you've got these 2 young guards who are in quite a state. One of them who has put his gun down. He's cast it down. He appears to be doing what Emmy has told him to do. Maybe it's the military bark in your voice. Maybe it's the old habit of shouting orders at young and experienced soldiers. But he appears to be doing what you want him to do, capitulating right now. The other one is not. He's still reloading his gun. So you've got him to deal with. You have the statue to deal with. There's still 3 of you. 2 of you are a little high on drugs. And we'll get there.
A little?
A little bit. You've probably done worse accidentally in the meth lab that is your bar right now.
We're so fucked.
Yeah.
The meth didn't have me dream up a nightmare from my past.
Yeah, that's true. Jerry, you're
Moving on.
wanting to smash and grab. You're thinking
I'm thinking about it.
you're thinking about it.
But I mean, we don't know how to brew it. I don't know how big that clock would be to try to figure that out.
Yeah.
We can always go to Granny to get some help. But then she's gonna say, "Oh, you need a monk and a stone golem." It's working.
And when you say Granny, you're talking about Riven?
Yeah.
Okay. Granny Riven? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And who knows if she even has the skills required.
So, but I'm in pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're hallucinating. You're not in that much pain.
You told me,
You
to,
big baby.
You told me to dream up a past trauma.
Yeah, what's your past trauma? What's happening right now? We switch back over to Lady of the Docks, who is trying to formulate her next move. But when you look at this room, what do you see?
I see a brothel room. I see a man getting dressed in the corner. And I'm putting my clothes back on. And I'm looking at the nightstand, and I turn to him and baby, did you forget something?
Oh, you hear that. Emmy especially, because you're still not high on fumes.
Yeah.
You just look over, and Lady of the Docks is staring at one of the a particularly beautiful bloom near the head of the one remaining soldier who is still very much invested in reloading his rifle. Baby darling, did you forget something?
Did you forget something? And he turns around, he has a knife.
Oh yeah.
And he's walking menacingly towards me. And I reach for my gun that I have for protection. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm young at this point, so I'm not that, familiar with what could happen.
Yeah.
And he's just marching towards me, even with the gun pointed towards him.
Okay.
And that's how I get my first scar on my abdomen.
Oh, he slashes you.
Yeah, he slashes
So this man
me.
comes in and slashes you.
Yeah. Tries to hurt me.
What's Lady going to try and do about it in this moment? You're in a unique position where that's what happened the first time, but it doesn't have to be what happens this time. So that fella draws the knife, and it's this this young soldier who's jamming the ramrod into the barrel of his rifle, trying to get it ready to shoot you. The two are merging. You see, you blink your eyes, kind of shake your head a little bit, and when you look back and focus again, it's the guy, it's the John, and he's coming at you. He's got something held out in his hand. You can't quite see. Maybe it is a short sword, a knife roughly the size and shape of a ramrod. What are you doing?
All right. Somebody wants to help me out. I'm walking up to him. I'm putting my hands around his throat. It's like, not tonight.
Ooh.
I'll put the gun right to his freaking temple. Pull the trigger.
Oh man.
I'm moving my gun over to this guy and pointing it at him. I'm like, you better fucking put that shit down now.
Let's resolve.
So you got another
Distraction. So you distract him with the gun. Mm-hmm. His eyes shift between Emmy and Lady of the Docks. Emmy, Lady of the Docks. Lady of the Docks is coming at him. He's pumping the ramrod in the rifle barrel.
Right.
Give me that roll.
Okay.
It's going to make no sense when you guys are laughing because I'm going to cut out all that. Oh, there it is.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Good night. Bam!
Blam! The John's brains splatter all across the roots on the right side. For the fourth time now, a gunshot goes off in this relatively small room underground with there's some deadening of the sound from the leaves and roots
From
and
his
vines.
brains.
And his brains now coating the walls. He drops like a heavy sack of bricks, and the other guy starts fucking panicking. He's like, please, protect me from her.
Does he pee himself again?
No,
I'm gonna be
all the
like,
pee. It's all it was
we
all
are
the pee.
protecting you.
Yeah.
See, you didn't get shot because you put your gun down.
It's true.
We're good.
That's true.
We're good.
Except Shroud. What are you seeing in this moment as you start hallucinating strong, or the drugs hit you heavily?
What Shroud sees when she looks down at her hands, she's holding a piece of paper, and scribbled on the piece of paper is a childlike drawing of it's me, and then it's Medusa. You can tell it's Medusa because she's got the little horn snakes on her head. And we're holding hands in the picture,
Yeah.
and I know that it's a picture that she drew it for me. With paper she had smuggled somehow, and then drew it with, I don't know, mud. Because we
Right.
didn't have pencils
Mud,
or crayons
charcoal.
or whatever.
Yeah,
And
like
she snuck it to me.
Candle wick. or
Yeah,
something.
she was my very first friend that I ever had, the first person who had never been afraid of me.
Yep.
And she made me this picture, and I put it in my pocket, and I remember that I'd put it in my pocket, and we didn't get caught at that point. It's when I pulled it back out later when I thought nobody was looking, and I looked at it, and I think I was smiling, and then a guard saw me, ripped the picture out of my hands, and then demanded to know who had drawn it. I said it was me, but he knew I was lying. So that I watched as they drug Medusa away from her assembly line,
Because
and I
clearly
was begging.
it's her in the
It's
her in
her.
the drawing.
It's her
Yeah.
and me in the picture.
Yeah.
And I watch in horror as they drag her away from the assembly line, and they hold her down, and I'm trying desperately to get to her as they take a crowbar and hit her right in the knee.
Ooh.
And I can't get to her in time.
Oh my god.
And
We're killing everyone in this fucking building.
Well,
Everyone's gotta die.
So
Shroud might.
what I see from that memory
Yeah.
is the guard. It's just one still standing, right?
MCP
Yep.
pants.
MC,
Yep.
yep. And I see him, and what I'm hallucinating is he's holding her, trying to drag her down to the ground so that they can hit her right in the knee. And I'm gonna try desperately to get over there before they get her.
Okay. What action?
Finesse,
Finesse.
because I'd like
sliding
to use
over.
some acrobatics to get there and just
Yeah.
yeah.
You're gonna get there and what?
I think I'm gonna try and reach for his throat.
Just
and
give him a
just
good choke.
Give him a good choke,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Risky standard.
I really want to help, but I have to go away.
Oh, you are fucked up. You have no idea what's going on.
Okay. So finesse, and I would like to push myself on this one too.
Okay.
Well,
I've got 3.
oh no, okay. We're the ones with the. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I've got 3. Here we go. 2 6s.
Ooh.
That is a critical success.
Wow.
I'm gonna give you 2 options.
Oh god.
Ooh, I got goosebumps.
Yeah, that's a good one. So you get over to him, and I'm going to say your original assessment, your hallucinating, you're tripping out, you're seeing these images, these horrifying images of something that happened to you terribly when you were young. You can either get over there like you wanted, like wholesale buy into the hallucination and choke this guy out. Just absolutely make him unconscious, basically nullifying him for the rest of this encounter until the end when you have to figure out what to do with him, right? Or I would say that the 6 can represent momentarily getting through the haze, blinking it out, being able to see reality, and taking a similar action that is going to be successful critically. What would you like to do?
I'll take the second action
Okay.
and
Come
out of the haze.
What do you want it to be? What are you going to do?
I would like to come out of the haze, but remember that this is still a House Kellis guy.
Mm-hmm.
And still have that burning hatred for what he represents.
Okay.
And I'm going to go for it.
You're just going to still choke him.
I'm still going to choke him, but I mean, I'm not going to spare him, you know, if I can help it.
Yeah.
I want to watch his eyes bulge out.
So you want to kill him?
Yeah.
You want to just straight up kill him?
I do.
Okay.
I guess I should have just shot him.
It's okay. This is fine too.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is fine too. Yeah. I mean,
I saved him for you.
You
Thank
did.
you.
You did.
Okay.
And now
Well, you're
you get to-
welcome.
and now you get to deal with the statue. Yay.
Yay.
Okay.
Oh.
So I'm going to say Shroud explodes forward with intense focused movement, vaulting over these stone pews in such a way that sometimes your feet don't hit the ground for 3-4 pews at a time because you are like lithely somersaulting through them, maybe almost like cartwheeling across the top of them.
Ooh.
In such a way that looks really fancy. Yeah, you're like, damn. Maybe you didn't even. Maybe the drugs are giving you the confidence.
Are
Drugs are
good?
bad, guys. Drugs are real bad, kids.
I mean, not all of them.
But you move forward with such a force of motion and purpose that you get to him almost before your brain can catch up with what you're doing. And at the last moment, like the haze of that spore cloud, that cloud of whatever it was that you rolled into, has left. You've kind of breathed out the last little bit of it. So you're not in the area of effect anymore. And you hop right down behind this young man. And before he even knows what happened, he's got his hands up, he's shaking, he's scared, he's afraid. And Shroud wraps him up in a perfect headlock. And the kind that you start squeezing and he goes pale, his eyes start bulging. He's like hitting and hammering at your arms, trying to get you to stop. And then maybe Emmy looks over, is like, wait a second, and you hear as you just pop the bones of his neck, like apply too much strength, and he drops bonelessly to the ground. The monks gaze on you in horror. The two that are back, it's not necessarily that they didn't want to see those guys die, because it seems like they're in squalid conditions, but they just watch you like deranged pile drive yourself across the surface of these pews and then inflict intense violence on this guy. So they're both shaking and quivering against the wall. You've got the lead guy who still hasn't turned around, and the older man next to him says, Brother Gale, there's killing inside of the monastery. What should we do? And he says, we should not interrupt the reconciler. You still haven't seen his face. Emmy, what are you doing?
I'm going to try to talk to the monks.
Okay.
So I think there are two of them
There's
who
two.
had responded to
Yeah,
Lady.
into the corners.
Correct, yeah. They're the ones that are kind of quaking in fear of Shroud.
So I'm just going to try to talk to them then, because they're the ones who are asking Brother Gale.
No, there's one older guy that's next to Brother Gale.
Okay.
So imagine two monks right up on the statue, two younger monks quaking in fear at the walls at the sides of the room. Those are the ones that were receptive to Lady of the Docks. The one at the front of the room is the one that talked to Brother Gale.
Okay. Well, I'll just make a blanket statement then. Monks, help us. We are trying to overthrow House Kellis, who has been keeping you in squalor. We want to help you. How can we help you? Help us.
So you're basically, monks, help me help you. And finally, Brother Gale turns around. And the first comparison your minds draw, probably, is that his eyes look like Shroud's eyes. They're milky, they're white. It's very apparent that this man is blind. Not that Shroud is blind, but you do have those pure white eyes. Yeah. He turns around and he says, "One master or another, what does it matter? We continue the work."
We don't want to be your masters, okay? That's not what I'm in for. I don't want to be in any kind of situation where you're enslaved, right? I want to be your partner. I want to help free you.
Okay.
That's what we're here for.
He says, "I need no freeing. I will stay here with Voss, and we will serve the reconciler, and we will pump out the sacred sacrament." That's the same fucking word, but different tenses. We will pump the sacrament out, and we...
You're on fire today.
Holy fucking shit, I can't believe I can't even trip over my... We haven't had company in months, okay? Just a bunch of guards who treat us like dog water.
Right, but don't you want to be able to continue your work in good conditions? We would help facilitate that.
He cocks his head, and looking at this man, he's got the stink of madness or some kind of like...
Oh, God.
mental illness on him.
All right, this isn't going to work.
Uncontrolled mental illness, because as we all know, mental illness is not a thing to be stigmatized. But when you're not taking care of yourself, it definitely can lead to some poor outcomes. This guy's in the throes of something like that right now. Mm-hmm. He is kind of got his head cocked to the side, almost like a dog, maybe like he's listening to something. He's got one ear to the heavens. The old man next to him says, "Brother Gale, I wouldn't find it amiss to have a blanket or a pillow. Perhaps something more to eat than the roots. Occasionally we could still serve the reconciler in that case, but the young men, their spines grow crooked. We stay in the dark and our eyes become more like yours every day. It's not natural. We must help ourselves before we can help the reconciler. You must see that." He says, "See? I don't see anything but his grace." And he reaches a hand up and kind of shakily runs his fingers down the front of this statue that does like another 2 tiny steps and reaches one of its small arms back down to stroke his face.
Aw.
Yes, aw.
That's so sweet.
You know,
So so at this point, what are we doing here? Am I trying to okay, I'm clearly trying to sway them. Do I need to make a roll?
I think it would be great if you made a roll.
All right.
I'm going to say that this is only because this roll could potentially determine whether or not you have to fight a giant robot. I'm going to say it's a little desperate. It's not our normal desperate. It's not like bullets are flying at you or weapons are pointed at you, but it's going to be a little desperate. But I will say that if you make it through, I'm going to give you great effect.
Okay.
Because 3/4 of the men in this room want what you're offering. You've just got to get that last one.
Okay.
All right. Just one stress to help, right?
One stress to help. Are we going all the way up to the edge?
I'm going to the edge. Just
Of what you speak.
All right.
All right,
Desperate.
I'm going to take a stress. You get another.
I get
got
2?
Do you want to give him?
A moment.
I can do it. Yeah.
How are you helping?
I can help.
Tell me how you help. I want a role played out. I want all 3 of you to entreat to this blind, angry old priest and try and figure out what the fuck he's talking about with the reconciler. Something.
Okay. All right. I walk up to him, to the blind old man. Mm-hmm. I get down on my knees and I put his hand in mine up to my chest.
The smell.
Not like in a sexual way.
It's the smell. The smell is atrocious. It hits you the closer you get. Unwashed, soiled man. It's bad. But yeah, what do you do? What are you saying? And remember that it's being led by Emmy, so you're helping me. You're not taking the. You're not.
Yeah, I'm not taking it. Yeah, I'm not taking.
Yeah.
Please listen to her. We can help you. We can give your followers a level of comfort so they may be even stronger in their faith and more steadfast. Let us help you.
Okay. What about Shroud?
It's the reconciler, right? I'll, knowing he's blind, probably kind of roll my eyes a little bit and say,
I could. The wind stirred for a moment, and one of you felt like you might have rolled your eyes. I had daughters once years ago that did that. I was already blind, I can tell.
Oh, what? Sorry.
I was on the verge of agreeing. This young lady's very nice.
Who did that?
What? I want to say something along the lines of, we just want what's best for the reconciler too.
That's a bold choice. His head quirks up. He reacts to the light touch on his back, and his head quirks up, and his ear tracks you. And I think he's ready for you to make that roll and give me your final entreaty.
Wise old man. Actually,
Gale.
wise man.
Yeah.
Help us help you serve the reconciler.
Okay.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Go. Ooh.
Okay, 5 and 4.
That 4
Okay.
is a cracked die. I want you to roll it. I want you to re-roll just that one inside
Okay.
the thing. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. 5. 5 success with a consequence.
Okay.
A success with a major consequence.
Oh, gosh.
Hey, it's because it was a desperate action for greater effect. I'm gonna say we'll roll standard effect. We'll roll with standard effect. I mean, so.
Another one?
Yeah, of course. I'm going to start a clock. This one is going to go into your gang, and it is going to be appease the reconciler.
Yay, we worship a new god.
Cool.
You're at least beholden to one. And in this world, they are very, very much real. These
Cool.
small pieces of divinity that have lingered past the exploding of the stars.
Awesome.
Appease the reconciler. And this is the kind of clock where you need for this to happen, or else something bad might happen.
Gonna turn you into a trad wife.
Brother
Oh,
Gale,
don't
yeah.
put that on me.
All three of you. Three trad wives.
Sister wives? Oh no.
Oh, God.
Oxley shows up. What's going on in here today? And you're like, we're making granola from scratch for our children.
Sir.
Mr. Hoxley, please come inside and have some fresh squeezed orange juice.
Mushroom juice.
Yummy.
Yummy.
Yeah. No, so he says, brother Jiggin. Do not laugh at Brother Jiggin's name. It is serious.
Oh, we're not. We're not.
No, never.
Brother Jiggin, fetch.
Not laughing.
Brother Jiggin, Brother Jiggin, fetch the ledger. I must show our new benefactors what's been happening. And the brother who's spoken to him, the one with the quavery old voice, kind of leaves and goes through one of those back doors. As he opens it, you can see what appears to be some kind of torch burning back there. No electroplasm. It seems like all the electroplasm is focused on the statue. The statue that, by the way, you heard him call Voss. So perhaps not a statue. I think you all know by now. It's probably a hull of some kind, maybe a specialized hull. Brother Jiggin comes back and he hands the ledger to Emmy, because Emmy seems to be the kind of in charge in this moment anyway. And Emmy, you look at the ledger and it doesn't have explicitly House Kellis. Thank you. It doesn't have explicitly House Kellis's mark on it anywhere because they're not idiots. However, it appears to be a record of every single time they brewed some of this ale and then had like a representative or a member of a noble house down here to drink it. And Brother Jiggin, whose name I love, I don't know why you guys hate it so much.
That's how we hate it.
Brother Jiggin says, if the wardens knew what we do down here, it would be very bad, but this is kinspire root. And he pulls a dried version of what you can clearly see all over the walls. He says, Voss grows it in soil that has been infused with ectoplasm. It's a very powerful reagent. Normally, only flavors a drink. You could make a variety of delicious brews and ales. As a matter of fact, it's what we used to do for the church once upon a time. We would brew it for the congregation, but well, one day, our head priest, Voss, he died of mysterious circumstances. He had been raving for some time deep beneath our church here. We think that he had connected with a magnificent power, a dark and strange entity called the Reconciler. When the wardens came for Voss's soul, he didn't go with them. As a matter of fact, his spirit inhabited this idol and slew the wardens that came, and then the second set of wardens that came after that, and they didn't send another. And we all stayed down here because Voss had been our leader. And he taught us how to take the demon blood and put it into the soil, grow the roots, choke the room with their sweet perfumes, and brew the Kinspire Ale that allows you to see through the eyes of your ancestors. It brings a spirit from your past, and it has the unique ability to heal the madness, if only for a moment, giving them the option, the clarity to talk to you about anything your house might be facing. You can see the people on the streets, limited use, but to the great houses, the ability to talk about where riches are stored, or what actions they took against a rival in the past, or some secret that could turn the tide of some kind of rivalry. The wardens, they don't like it because they want the spirits to be eradicated, and we bring them back. We've been down here, and House Kellis somehow found out about our operation and took control. And they value only the product, but we go along with it because it spreads the great work of the Reconciler. He looks around and he says, I will share the great word of the Reconciler with you. It's a being that seeks to bridge the gap between the living and the dead. Ooh. And now you have taken up this task with your words as a pledge. And in turn, we will help you brew the Kinspire Ale, and you must disseminate it through the masses.
If we must. You hear that, guys? We must.
Perfection.
I guess so.
All right.
Thank you, Brother Jiggin. Thank you for your trust.
Getting jigging with it. No.
From the corner, no.
Yeah.
Brother Gale in the house.
Put your hands in the air, Brother.
Put your hands in the air like you just don't care.
Wow.
No. I'm scared.
Yeah. Okay, how the hell do we get this group out of here? Or do we leave them here? But won't they send more like guards?
Yeah.
Do we move them or?
Yeah, I think the three of us are really looking at each other at this point. We're like,
what now?
okay, can we defend from here, or do we need to get them out? How can we help next?
I think Brother Jiggin looks down at the two younger priests and over at the ailing and aging Brother Gale, and then up at Voss, whose strange robotic head tilts first left, then right, kind of gauging the room. And he says, we have much to discuss, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Haunted Halls is a production of WSC Media. Bobby White is your host, with Jerry, Christy, and Bonnie voicing our scoundrel protagonists. Introductory song by Josh Wagner, Toby Bradner, Brandon O'Connor, with additional music by Bobby White. For more information, catch us on hauntedhalls.com, spelled HAULS. And if you like what you've been hearing, please support us on our Patreon.
Bobby's had a liter of beer.